Cyber Dopamine here. So you've probably seen that the PlayStation's Portal has a new update. You can now cloud stream games as opposed to streaming just from your PlayStation. I don't own a PlayStation, so when I saw that this update dropped, it's in beta, but it dropped nonetheless, I went over to Best Buy to go pick one up to see if I could enjoy PlayStation games with the comforts of just the Portal. $200, which is a really good deal. And the reason why it's worth making a video is because this could be an incredible way to play games on a budget. I had to subscribe to PlayStation Plus, which is $20 a month. And if you add that up over a year, mixed with how much it costs to, purchase the Portal, a year's worth of gaming on the Portal costs as much as a brand new PlayStation that you would have for more than a few years. A lot of people don't like paying $400 up front. This is a way to kind of side sweep that. And when you turn it on for the first time, it asks you to sync with your PlayStation. And I'm like, no, I don't have one. Then it says error. Then you can click skip after that. And then it says you want to join the cloud beta. So I joined the cloud beta and it resets and it turns back on with the new software update. And I thought, you know what? It's going to be easy from here on out. But the reality is different. I go over to my cloud games. So I can see this library of games. And so I click on, Dying Light. It's up there at the top. And it loads. And then it just, boom, error. Something's not working. So I go try another game. Something's not working. I try like 5 or 10 games. Nothing's working. And so I look it up on Google, and Reddit's telling me that, the servers are pretty heavily populated right now. So the cloud streaming just doesn't work. And so I give it some time. I go to sleep, I wake back up, and I try again, and boom, same problem. Finally, I decided to download the PlayStation app on my phone. This is what you're going to have to do. And when you log in, there's a terms and agreements thing that you have to fill out. And with the Portal, you can't fill that out by yourself. It doesn't have access to the terms and agreements because it's coming from the browser and there's no browser support on the Portal. So it never told me this, but once I clicked agree to the terms and set up my account entirely, I head back over to my Portal and it finally starts working. And this is what's super cool. So I've played with GeForce Now. Amazing stuff. I play with Xbox Game Pass. And now I'm playing with PlayStation's, cloud streaming. I'll tell you this, with my experience on playing with just the standalone PS Portal, it's not as good as if you were to hook something up to GeForce Now, but it's a lot better than if you were to hook something up to Xbox Game Pass. I'm getting 1080p. Here's my up and download speeds. I'm getting 1080p perfectly. Very rarely does it downgrade. As far as the quality goes, like for example, here's on some Uncharted, you can tell you're screaming on this device, but it's good enough to where you can get by playing whatever game you want to play and kind of being immersed in the game, right? Whereas like with Game Pass, it would fluctuate and I would know I'm streaming and I'm constantly kind of like stressing about the quality dropping. Based off my experience so far, the Portal has been very consistent with just playing games. You know what I mean? Also, Black Friday's kicking in, and so shout out to Ugreen for the Uno magnetic wireless power bank. This cool gadget has a 10,000 milliamp battery, and it can fully charge an iPhone 16 Pro 1.6 times. And it has a 20 watt output, so you can charge other devices. You can charge your Steam Deck with it, whatever else you may have. First off, this thing is adorable. It has a fun little robot design and a TFT display that shows you the battery level with cute emojis. It's like a little companion for your phone. But it's not just about looks. This power bank is seriously powerful. It offers a 15 watt super fast magnetic wireless charging, so it's perfect for my iPhone. And it's Qi 2 certified, which means it's safe and reliable. Plus, it's super compact and easy to carry around. It's about 3/4 the size of my phone, so it fits right in my pocket. You can also see we have a Ugreen Uno 6-in-1 USB-C hub, which is great for handhelds in your laptop. This HDMI port offers up to 4K 60. They also have this super cool Uno charger 100 watt, which is what I use to charge my handhelds. It's my go-to for traveling and mobility as it includes 3 USB-C ports, and 1 USB-A port. This power bank is part of the Ugreen Uno series, which is all about fast and fun charging accessories for all of your devices. They have a whole lineup of chargers, cables, and hubs that are designed to make your life easier. There is a Black Friday sale going on right now, so go check them out. Link is in the description. And so now I have it working and I've been playing a lot of games on it. The problem that I seem to come across is the library of games that you can stream from. It's not that big. There's some good games and there's some like, I don't even know what these are kind of games. But you know, there's a lot of things that you can't play that you could otherwise play on your PlayStation if you own one and you bought the game. You know, you've got some good ones, like you've got The Last of Us, you've got Uncharted, you know, Naughty Dog games, you've got Dying Light, some cool heavy hitters, but there's a lot missing. And so if you decide to do this, understand that as of now, when I post this video, there's a limited amount of games you can play on it. There's some good ones though. You'll get your dopamine rush, but you know, maybe you're looking for a specific game. You got to look that up. Another thing I've come to notice while doing this is it's extremely convenient. And I've talked about this with my other videos that are more focused on like Steam Decks and Legion Go's and things like that. This portal is super light, super thin. The battery lasts a good long time. And so when you're at home, you can turn this thing on in your bed before you go to sleep. That is convenient because I've mentioned this a lot. Like, you know, if you want to play a game on a desktop PC or on a console, you have to take initiative and commit to doing that, if that makes sense. You have to turn on the TV. You have to turn on the PlayStation. You have to boot up the game. You have to do all this stuff to play your game. Whereas this one, you just kind of easily press the button. It wakes up from sleep. You go back, you go in the game. It takes like 3 seconds and you're good. That's sick to have. With my old Xboxes, I always had a problem with that. As far as the display goes, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's not like an OLED. It's nothing special. It's 1080p. But you know, as we know, that works just fine. I'm not gonna nitpick on the display, especially for the price. The battery, I feel like could be a lot better, but it's good enough. I can get like 2 hours of game time. But you would think with a portal, with something so basic that just streams, you could rock like a good 4 or 5 hours. But in my case, not so much. I feel like that's not a big deal because you're playing at home. You're always going to be near an outlet or a USB-C. The speakers, they're pretty mid. I mean, if you compare this to like a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally, they freaking rip. These ones are just like cheap plasticky speakers. I prefer headphones for sure. But I will say the controllers, and you Sony people, you PlayStation people know this stuff. I never knew this. Your controllers are freaking sick. Like the triggers, they adjust. Like if I'm aiming down my sights and I pull the trigger to shoot, the portal's triggers will actually lock to where it feels like I'm actually pulling a trigger. And then if I'm driving in the car, the left trigger will lock depending on the brakes. And it'll change too. The locking threshold will go from like at the very bottom to like the very top. It's like dynamic and it's lively. It's so weird and it's so cool. And now I get the hype behind DualShock. I guess it's a DualShock thing, but so yeah, I thought I'd just let you guys know that you can totally raw dog a PS Portal without a PlayStation anymore. So thanks for taking the time to also tell me what I can do to make these videos better. You don't have to sub if you don't want to. If it's your vibe, you do you. But